if you've kept an eye on Mr. Krabs in the last 10 years of SpongeBob, you've soon come to find out that he does a lot of illegal things, very illegal things, and most of the time he gets away with it. Even though he does get away with it, or he doesn't get away with it, I'm still gonna mention him being illegal and doing illegal things, being a just I'm not sure. Let's see, breaking the law. Anything from stealing, from theft to vandalizing, to counterfeiting, to pretty much everything he's done. You can name it. So I'm gonna give you the top 10 worst illegal Mr. Krabs moments. So this whole thing is dedicated to the moments of Mr. Krabs when he does highly illegal things, with or without getting arrested or not getting arrested. I don't care. He's doing illegal things. That's all I'm saying. It's not. I mean, it's on a kid's show. Come on. So yeah, I'm gonna start right now, and everybody clap because it's the first time I'm using transition in my videos. Number 10, trespassing. Plankton's regular. So in Plankton's regular, the whole entire plot was just Mr. Krabs just not letting Plankton get a single customer without whining and complaining and bitching and moaning. So he decides to, I guess he proceeds that, or he assumes that Plankton stole his formula, and that's the only way he could actually get customers, or a customer. So he decides to try to steal it at the end, but it turns out that Karen paid the customer to Nat. She paid Nat to say that his food was good and eat his food so he can stop his complaining, which is pretty messed up. Yeah, really, come on, Karen. Whoa. Might do a worse moments of her later on. Why not? So after, he breaks into that, he tries to steal the formula, which is trespassing, by the way. And before anybody says anything about, oh, well, Plankton, he breaks into the Krusty Krab too. See, that's different, because you know why? He's the antagonist. Plankton's supposed to be the antagonist most of the time anymore. He plays the protagonist because he's always getting tortured by somebody, mainly Mr. Krabs. And yeah, okay, Mr. Krabs has turned into the antagonist, so yeah, and plus, like, when Plankton is the antagonist, it makes sense because he's a villain. He's supposed to do that. Mr. Krabs is not supposed to do that. He's supposed to be the good guy in this case, not the antagonist. That's all I'm saying. So yeah, this whole episode was just him trespassing. Well, not the whole episode, but like just it's pretty illegal to trespass private property. So yeah. Anyway, next episode. Number 9. Opening a band business on private property, banned in Bikini Bottom. So in Band in Bikini Bottom, geez, I don't know, a girl named Miss Gristlepuss banned Krabby Patties from being fun and delicious for some stupid reason, I guess, for being fun and delicious. I'm not sure. So Mr. Krabs opens a restaurant. Well, since they closed the Krusty Krab, Mr. Krabs opens a restaurant on private property, SpongeBob's property. I mean, still, if it was his permission, I mean, that's still, I mean, it's a banned business. I mean, but yeah, yeah, it might be for stupid reasons, but I mean, you have to, especially on a kid's show. I mean, come on, it's like they're always doing something illegal. It's like, I don't know, and they still think, oh, it's just a kid's show. Blah, blah, blah. It doesn't really matter. You've been told not to open a banned business. I guess just break the rules. Why not? So yeah, Mr. Krabs and SpongeBob and Patrick. I think he was like one of the like bodyguards or something like that. Anyway, they opened a band business on at SpongeBob's house, like a new Krusty Krab, a secret Krusty Krab, and then like Miss Chrysopus finds out, and then at the end of the episode, she accidentally eats a Krabby Patty, and then the band gets lifted, and then everybody lives happily ever after. It was kind of typical, and but still, I mean, why can't Mr. Krabs just take simple instructions? He always tells people, "Oh, you can't heed my warning or even follow my instructions," even though he doesn't even know how to follow other simple instructions. It's really stupid. Anyway, let's go on to number 8.
素晴らしいちんちんもの金玉の亀あるそれの音サルボボいえ忍者がいます
Number 8. Fraud slash false vending. Atlantis SquarePantis. So, in this fraud slash false vending, Mr. Krabs sort of at the beginning of the episode, he kind of opens this little green bubble shack that charges people money for going to the Atlantis Museum, and he charges people for it, and that's false vending and that's fraud. He gets money for that, so it's sort of theft. I mean, only if you want to include that in there. But yeah, other than that, that's definitely fraud and false vending. So that's two bigaboos right there. So yeah, and we still have 7 more to go, and they all just get worse from dead on point. Okay, so all right.
素晴らしいちんちんもの金玉の亀あるそれの音サルボボいえ忍者がいます
Number 7. Vandalizing private property. Greasy buffoons. Yes, this one. Okay, why? It's like one of those why reasons. Out of all the places around well, before I even get to that, let me just say that Mr. Krabs and SpongeBob, well, actually SpongeBob is driving. Great continuity, by the way, because he can't drive. Yeah, thanks, thanks for leading us on for that. SpongeBob's driving a truck full of, or a vat full of grease, and Mr. Krabs orders SpongeBob to dump it all over Chum Bucket, or dump it all over the Chum Bucket's lawn. I mean, really, out of all the places to Chum Bucket, I mean, you could have just, I don't know, I guess just out of hatred for Plankton, I guess, but honestly, it was just like one of the most random places you can possibly put it, and it just didn't make any sense at all. So that's illegal. That's vandalizing private property, because it's kind of like just, yeah. I mean, it's pretty much the same thing. If, let's see, you went to like a McDonald's and just poured grease all over or not even grease, like it could be, geez, I don't know, oatmeal. I mean, I don't know, it could be anything. It could be literally anything, and I mean, pretty much, I mean, it's still vandalizing private property, but it turns out that it kind of helps Plankton in the process, but still, I'm not focused on that. I'm just, all about the illegal parts. So, yeah, that was definitely illegal, vandalizing private property. Alright, next one.
素晴らしいちんちんもの金玉の亀あるそれの音サルボボいえ忍者がいます
Number 6. Vandalizing private property. Penny foolish. Okay, in this episode, we're more likely at the end of the episode, after all the time that Mr. Krabs spent on SpongeBob for a freaking penny, or what he thought was a penny, which really was a gum, which what SpongeBob thought was gum, but was really a $500 bill. A horrible twist, by the way. Um, it turns out that Mr. Krabs, at the end of the episode, digs up in the entire front lawn, back lawn, middle lawn, everything around SpongeBob's house just to look for the penny. Yeah, so that's that's definitely vandalizing right there. So he, I mean, there's just like holes everywhere. I mean, I'm not sure if it really matters if it's underwater, but apparently the actual show SpongeBob doesn't really care when it comes to logic. So I'm pretty sure those are actual holes, and they're gonna take a while to fill up. And I don't see how SpongeBob even deals with Mr. Krabs anymore. I mean, I hate SpongeBob, don't get me wrong, but I hate Mr. Krabs the worst. He's the worst character on the show. He is one sadistic, greedy, just just a horrible person. I really, really hope he would like never return to the show. He is like one of the three things that makes the show intolerable. Just him himself, his whole presence is one of the three things that makes the whole show intolerable. All right, well, let's get on to the next one, shall we?
素晴らしいちんちんもの金玉の亀あるそれの音サルボボいえ忍者がいます
Number 5. Theft and Larceny, Growth Spout. So in Growth Spout, Pearl gets hungry. That's kind of like the whole gist of the episode, but it's not what I'm really mainly here to talk about. It's pretty much through the whole entire episode, Mr. Krabs stealing other people's food and other people's belongings just to feed Pearl. And okay, I've heard from some people. Okay, well the stores were closed. Okay, um, so like okay, he feeds Pearl this whole refrigerator, and she's still hungry. Okay, all the stores are closed. Okay, well he still has his restaurant, I guess, and he says he doesn't want to obliterate his inventory. Alright, that doesn't really make any sense because he has so much money to buy new ingredients and buy new food. It doesn't even make any sense. And throughout the episode, since he stole from Mrs. Puff, Squidward, and even tried to steal from, he stole from Patrick too, even tried to steal from SpongeBob, until SpongeBob catches him and just saying like, but SpongeBob think it's like some kind of pajama party or some crap or some flanderized, overthought stations of what like SpongeBob actually thinks because the writers don't know how to write. Okay, but yeah. Then Squidward barges into SpongeBob's house and says that okay, he's like stealing his food, which he did, and then I don't know. He's just I'm not sure what they're doing with Mr. Krabs, but it's nothing good. I mean, he has so much money, and he can pretty much bribe people to open their stores just to give them something. I'm pretty sure there's still some stores that are open, okay? Or some restaurants that are open. Anyway, let's get to the next one.
素晴らしいちんちんもの金玉の亀あるそれの音サルボボいえ忍者がいます
Number 4. Counterfeiting and Theft, Krabby Chronicle. Wow, this is one of my least favorite Mr. Krabs episodes. One of the reasons being is that there are so many illegal things he does. Okay, at the beginning of the episode, for example, he basically steals the public newspaper. Okay, he's opening for another person, but takes one for himself. Okay, yeah, I mean, I gotta admit, is a pretty smart decision, but I mean, honestly, if you don't want to pay for it, but I'm just saying, it's just 70, it's probably like 50 cents, 75 cents, maybe even a quarter of what I've seen people put in there, like 25 cents. You seriously don't have that money. And plus, I think those belong to him anyway, or did it. I'm not sure, but it was like outside, like right in front of them. I think it was like from the actual newsstands. But you really couldn't just pay for that yourself. I mean, are you actually serious? And the second one is even more serious. Counterfeiting. Yes, he counterfeits money at the end of the episode, which is a great role model for the kids. Because they say like, "Oh, well, I have a printer at home. There's a printer in my room. There's a printer in the living room. Well, maybe if I put money, like a dollar bill in front of there, I can print even more money. That'd be awesome. Or maybe I can print up fake, like $1 bills that make it look real. Oh, that's such a genius idea." Yeah, so what he did at the episode was pretty illegal. So yes, I'm not. I mean, he really doesn't need extra money. He said all of his money. He said all of his money was gone. Really, all of your money? They took all of your money? No, they just took the money back that they wasted on from papers that they read from your false company, your false newspaper company. But I gotta admit that the customers there, the town, they read it too, and they willingly knew most of the stories were fake. So once again, them being hypocrites, I might actually do a. This might be just me joking, but I'm not sure if I will or not. But maybe I might do a top 10 worst. The Bikini Bottom city is a bunch of assholes, or the Bikini Bottom town is like a bunch of hypocrites, or the hypocritical moments from the town. I might just do that. Anyway, let's get to number three, and these top three left.
素晴らしいちんちんもの金玉の亀あるそれの音サルボボいえ忍者がいます
Number three, animal abuse, the scent of money. So yes, the scent of money, being my second least favorite Mr. Krabs episode, you have him just abusing Gary. Let's see, tormenting Gary, torturing Gary, using Gary just to get his own satisfaction out of that. Not just animal abuse, he also steals money from other people. So yes, theft. Yeah. And it's just one of the reasons being Gary swallows a magnet. And well, that's found out about the end of the episodes, but it turns out that like the whole entire, like at least the majority of the episode, Gary is being abused by Mr. Krabs and being used by him, used and abused, just so he could get change, because it attracts like change. It doesn't attract money; it attracts like change. Anyway, or coins. So when it's attracting coins, it pretty much takes it from everything that's near. Which if it's on the ground, that's fine, because once it's lost, I mean it kind of makes sense, because it's like it's just gone now. It's not really considered stealing. But when it's in people's buckets and in people's wallets, and you just have to realize how low down Mr. Krabs is, how just despicable he really is. He has all this money, and he needs to ruin this like poor little poor little snail's life, or the poor little snail's week or day, because really, I mean, this is gonna take some emotional toll on him for a while. I mean, and physical, because all of it, every time he got attracted to money. Gary got attracted to money. It cost him like really bad displeasure. Like it like made him experience pain pretty bad. And Mr. Krabs doesn't care. And SpongeBob, through half the episode, was freaking blind. Not as blind as a pal of Gary. I'll never say that. He was, oh God, he was Stevie Wonder in that episode. He was like Stevie Wonder's long lost cousin. Okay, but anyway. So like yeah, throughout the episode, it's like giving Gary pain, just so Mr. Krabs could get money. Even though he has so much money and has all of this money, it's the writers don't even think of plots anymore, do they? They just think like how to flanderize characters and make them so insufferable that it's actually interesting. It's so horrible that it actually gets interesting. Not in a good way though. So let's see. Let's get on to the next one. We're almost to the first one.
素晴らしいちんちんもの金玉の亀あるそれの音サルボボいえ忍者がいます
Number 2. Oh my god. Bullying slash harassment. One course meal. Yeah, people thought one course meal was gonna be number 1. You're surely mistaken. Or sorely. Sorely? It doesn't matter. Anyway, what does matter is that Mr. Krabs, through this entire episode, knows that Plankton is scared of whales, terrified. Because whales pretty much ate his ancestors, and so let's see. He eats the whales eat their ancestors since Pearl shows up out of nowhere just to save Mr. Krabs and stuff from Plankton wanting to get the secret formula again. Turns out he's scared of whales, and Mr. Krabs uses it against him and drives him to the thought of suicide. He made this man a shell of a man. He made him cry and just turn into a monster just because Mr. Krabs is just a horrible, horrible person. I know one part of the episode he says goodbye, Pipsqueak. So by saying goodbye, he's pretty much saying he's going to drive him to death. He's going to drive him so far underneath a depression bridge. I'm sorry for using that horrible figurative language, but he's going to drive him so much under the bus that he's gonna just want to commit suicide, just like he did. He says like, "That's it, I'm over. I'm waiting for a bus to run me over." Yeah, it's one of the most serious moments of SpongeBob, and it really this episode should not be on Nickelodeon. I remember in a few episodes, for example, the one in Spongiac. I'm not a fan of it. I even did a crappy cartoon on it. In the episode, apparently they deleted a scene because they said it was too scary for kids. It was Mr. Krabs. I think I actually went over this in that in Spongiac review, in the crappy cartoon version of in Spongiac. I don't think I went over this. The writers deleted the scene because they said that Mr. Krabs dressed up as a mustard dispenser, or like I forgot what he was doing, but he was dressed up as a mustard dispenser, like yelling at SpongeBob. They said it would be too scary for the kids. When do you ever care about what kids watch? I mean, this isn't. Let's be realistic here. This isn't even a kid show anymore. This is just some kind of 11-minute crap fest that's been just overly buried by flanderization and horrible character derailment. And you want to tell this? Oh, we think about the kids now. You are bullshit, okay? I'm not usually one to cuss a lot, but that is straight up 100% bullshit. You do not care about the kids. Stop acting like you care. It's funny. Really, Squidward's toenail being ripped off. That's not scary. A bunch of pus squirting out of a freaking disgusting, moldy, like just fungus-infected blister, and just pulling a splinter off of it. That's not scary for kids. That's not even disgusting. It's not even disgusting to you. Oh no, disgusting humor's funny. Oh well, I had a bad experience with the mustard dispenser when I was younger because my daddy squirted it in my anus. No, but all jokes aside, seriously, that's stupid. That is one of the stupidest reasons I've ever heard these writers say they was going to delete a scene. There's plenty of other dumb reasons. We're yet to see them. But it's Mr. Mr. Crab is being not for kids. Oh God, I completely went off this episode. Anyway, let's go back to the episode. Sorry for that pretty long rant. After bullying harassment, he drives Plankton to nearly commit suicide by getting hit by a bus. The same thing happened to Squidward. He tried to commit suicide twice in the episode of SpongeBob, or not tried to commit suicide. It was just, just a little I'm not sure what to call a little spoiler, I guess. I'm not exactly sure what to call it because it didn't really happen. They just kind of threw us off. They're like, oh my god, why does he have a rope? Really, he's just hanging in a bird cage. Like, seriously. Then he put his head in the oven. Like, he put it far in the oven just to get a casserole out. Seriously? I mean, are you kidding me? I mean, what are you trying to do, SpongeBob writers? Except I don't call them SpongeBob writers. I call them sadists. So, yeah, sadists. Sorry for speaking off that one. Anyway, this was one of the worst Mr. Krabs episode I've ever watched, but it's not the worst illegal thing he's ever done. Yes, there's one more that's worse, and I'm about to get into it because number one, you're up next.